Yeah, I do worry. Oh, he's back.
All right,
Charlie's
I'm
back.
back.
You okay?
Sorry, guys.
It's all right. It's all
Oh,
right.
we had a few technical problems there. You probably noticed the stream went down for a bit.
That's all right. That's not an issue. Let's see if
So
if it's if it's dead. It's up to you if you want to
no,
put it
I
on
think
for the
we've got it.
last
I think we've
15.
got it back.
Got it back.
Hopefully.
I'm just trying to. It's live now. Let's have a look.
How are we doing?
Yeah, I think we are back.
Stable. There we go. Back. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. That's all right. That's all right. What happened?
We got the Wi-Fi completely cut out by looks of things, unfortunately.
You killed the Wi-Fi.
Sorry, all. 2 hours and 40 minutes in, I'm allowed one total technical misfire.
Just one.
I'm allowed. Well, I say just one as if there hasn't been like 5 or 6 times it's happened, but like.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. We're what, less than 20 minutes away from calling it. So let's try and hit some big topics. Chat. Go on. What topics do you want to begin at?
All right. Tell you what. Let's start with Liverpool then. While we're here, they've had arguably the summer that Tottenham have been having the last 2 years. They haven't made any additions, and on the same note, no real big exodus there. A few big players have left. I mean, a few rotational players. Moreno's left. Mignolet's left. What do you guys think? Do you think that's a cause for concern for Liverpool fans, or do you reckon that they'll be just fine?
I think they'll just be fine. I think that they've got the squad again to be able to go do what they did last season. Whether they could win the Champions League again or so, it remains to be seen. But I still feel they'll fall short to Manchester City, who are just a class above the rest, really. Liverpool actually have made 1 or 2 signings. I mean, I know they brought in Harvey Elliott from Fulham. I mean, he's no world beater yet. He's 16, 17.
Not quite a senior signing, but a really good signing.
Really, really good signing. He made his debut for Fulham in the Premier League. Is he the youngest Premier League player ever now? So they are. Like you said, no world beaters, but I still feel that Liverpool will be all right. I have no cause for concern for Liverpool.
Oh no, I think they'll be just fine. But with a squad like they've got a super squad. They've got a squad that's capable of dealing with. The only issues there I'd say is depth. But even then, I think they'll be absolutely fine. I think they'll have a strong season. I think they may well prioritise the league more than the Champions League this year. But I think you just want to win everything, don't you? Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Little bit of breaking business. Now we're back.
Got him.
Good job we came back. Southampton have handed in a deal sheet and asked for an extension in regards to Augsburg centre-back Kevin Danso, who I think, if I'm not wrong, is Austrian-English. But a young centre-back, so they're trying to get a deal done after the window's closed. They've confirmed that. And then Tottenham have confirmed the signing of Ryan Sessegnon. I think the deal we all knew was going to happen. Yep. But they have confirmed now that is done. He is a Tottenham player now. And so I think that's the deal we all knew. But yeah, Southampton trying to bring another centre-back in. And obviously we'll bring you more as we sort of know more.
I've just seen an interesting stat as well for the Alex Iwobi. Alex Iwobi has scored 11 goals in 100 Premier League appearances. just a nice little stat for you there. After being linked with a 40
stat.
million.
1 in 10. Better than 1 in 10.
Yeah, 1 in 10. Yeah. Or 1.1 or something. 11%
like that hit rate.
Yeah. I think that's all at the moment. It has been very quiet since this. I don't know. I don't know if it's normally.
It'll die off now. I think this is probably a byproduct. But as part of that Sessegnon deal, it's been confirmed as well that Josh Onoma has gone to Fulham on a permanent deal.
That's good. Yeah, Josh Onoma's good.
Good young player. He's proved himself at Championship.
Yeah, never really had it for Tottenham, but really solid Championship player.
I'm sure there's a buyback fee in there just in case he goes on to be a world beater, but I don't know if that's necessary in his future.
Yeah, what else have we got? Obviously stuff about Andy Carroll. How well do you guys think he's going to do this year? Do you think he's going to get goals?
I think
that
he'll
will keep
feature every now
Newcastle?
and then, and
Yeah,
then
he's-
sort of. Yes,
That's
I
what I'm
can.
trying to-
Sorry, no, you can. Go on. Go on, Harry. We've bumped into each other here.
I mean, with Carroll, he's just got to keep fit. That is 100% it. He's got to keep fit. Otherwise, I think his Newcastle career will already be dead in the water. I mean, I don't know if he's already gone there with an injury. I mean, I don't know if he's currently injured or if he's actually fully fit to start the season. But he just needs to keep fit. That's all I'm going to say about Carroll.
Okay, so apparently Sky sources are saying Everton are set to confirm the signing of Alex Iwobi from Arsenal for £35 million.
Jeez.
Whew. That's crazy.
It's mad.
That's crazy,
I think that's the definition of a panic buy, if I'm being honest.
Okay, so how much do you guys think he's actually worth, Alex Iwobi?
Oh no, he's
That's a
probably
great question.
for a young homegrown player, still got a bit of upside. 35 million is probably not an awful shout, but for that sort of money, clubs are just so much more interested in. You can get so much better value than that. It just seems like Everton have really narrowed their field of view to just the Premier League. The fact they've gone after Zaha, the fact they've gone after Iwobi now, and then in recent years have bought Richarlison, Sigurdsson. They've all proven themselves.
Richarlison was slightly different though, because obviously Marco Silva dealt with him. I feel like that's slightly different. I was thinking about that today.
I think that's probably. I mean, probably a little bit more leeway with that one. But even then, he'd proven himself in the Premier League, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's not gone and found anyone else that he's worked with. I mean, he worked with Kevin Morales at Olympiacos, if I'm not wrong, and he doesn't get a look in. So, it doesn't disprove your point. Is still perfect. Yeah, your point's correct. Yeah, that's not necessarily fair.
Okay, who's had the best window then? We've discussed the worst. Who's had the best?
Chelsea. No. Could you imagine if he came out of this and went, yeah, do you know what? Chelsea had a solid window.
Chelsea did all right.
Yeah, they did all right. Yeah, 40 million for Kovacic. That's good.
In fairness, they have made a signing somehow in a transfer ban. They've made a signing. Because they're just confirming a signing from before. But
it's because I think they initially signed Kovacic on loan to Madrid, and then
it was all part of the deal.
Then they had the obligation, to buy for 40 million at the end of it.
They could have bought Higuain as well at the end.
They're probably glad that they didn't.
Yeah, I would have swerved that as well if I were them.
Yeah.
Big old, especially given that Sarri was leaving. I think he was only bought to keep Sarri happy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it went well.
Best window. I think if Arsenal get David Luiz, it probably deserves a mention. Man City?
I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously, Arsenal have had a good window. Yeah, Man City. I know you mentioned him earlier, Rodri. I really do like him. Like, from what I saw, I've not seen much, but what I did see, certainly in the Community Shield, I really liked him. Always on the half turn, always ready to receive the ball. Really like him as a player. I think he's exciting. He's certainly what Man City need.
I think Wolves have had a good window.
They have. I think they've been quite quiet in terms of the signings they've made. They've made quite a few signings, and I'm pretty sure they've made some good names.
They've made some fabulous signings.
They've been very steady, and they've been very. They've gone under the radar, I guess, is probably the phrase I would use.
I mean, I'm going to chuck one in. I'm going to say actually Everton have had a really good window. I mean, the likes of Moise Keane coming in, Fabian Delph is solid.
Fantastic piece of business. No, if there's no buyback fee in that Moise Keane deal, it could be the best deal of the summer.
Yeah, that could be really good.
I have to wait and see.
But then you've got Iwobi coming in.
True, that could.
But he's still got.
Completely derail.
You look at if you look at the stats behind Iwobi's last few seasons. He's in actually a bracket you'd be surprised by. Like, it was in chances created or passes into the box I saw yesterday in Europe, and he's in the top 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And I know that might be to do with how Arsenal play and how he plays, and also you can pass as many times into the box as you like, as if it's not successful, then about as much use as a chocolate teapot. But I think if you put him in a system where he can thrive, I think he'd be found. I think he could be really good. Really good for a team like Everton as well. At 35 million, it's worth a risk.
I'm trying to think who else has had a good window.
I mean, West Ham are a good shout.
I like Seb Haller, Sebastian Haller.
He's the one I worry about, you know. I actually think the guy they've bought today, a guy called Ayeti, I think that's how you say his name, Swiss guy, he has the potential to be a really good striker as well. For £8 million, that's outstanding value. And Fornals as well. Fornals looks amazing.
You said you worry about Haller. What's your...
If you look
I want to see if it's the same as what I think it's going to be.
My worry about Haller is that in his time at Eintracht Frankfurt, the only time he really thrived was when he was playing in a front two. And that front two was with arguably a potentially world-class striker in the future, in Lukijovic. Yeah. And if you look at his record, he averages less than a goal every other game. And I think he only scored... was it 11 or 7 last season? I can't remember. Somewhere in that ballpark. He didn't score in the league an awful lot amount of goals.
Yeah.
And I worry that he does best in a 2 up front, and he might be playing up front with Ayeti, but that's not really Pellegrini's style. And that he's being asked to lead a line. But I've been surprised before. And I think he's probably got the tools to do it. It's just whether he's going to be used to doing it. So it's a risk, but it's a risk. I mean, that £35 million is going to have to be spent. They were being linked with Higuain at one point. Actually, talking about him a minute ago, which would have been fun. What
about? I'm trying to think who else. Leicester. Leicester brought in Tielemans.
Perez.
Dennis Pratt in a minute as well. Yeah. Belgian midfielder from Sampdoria, who's underrated but will be fantastic for them. An attacking midfielder. Although it's interesting, they're buying another attacking midfielder when they've got James Maddison.
You know what? I think they are going to be the team to look out for this year. I do feel like that's going to be the case with Leicester.
Who do you think? Here's a good question. Who do you think transfer business has done the most to elevate their team from the position they're in, that has the most chance now of doing something more than they were expecting to?
Would you consider before the transfer window?
Would you mean as in like from where they were expected? Yeah. So a team that
like end the season.
Yeah, a team that ended the season, everyone was like, oh, they're shot. They won't finish where they're finishing this year. Because I would argue that Arsenal were probably the team for that.
Yeah, I would argue. Aston Villa as well.
Interesting.
But yeah, I think Arsenal's probably a fair shout. Trying to think who else really. Yeah, I mean, other than the teams that have come up,
it's difficult.
Or
yeah,
I would say maybe Southampton and Che Adams. That might be a good signing for them.
Yeah, agreed.
It's tough.
It is really tough. I would agree with Arsenal. I think they've bought really well, and I think they finished 5th last season, and they could be challenging for that top 4.
Yeah,
they really
I think outside,
need to proper challenge.
I think they will. I think with Chelsea, Chelsea will struggle a bit this season because they lack that real quality they had from Hazard.
I think as well, with Frank Lampard being so inexperienced in management, that Chelsea will drop. They finished 3rd last season. They could drop to where Manchester United are 6th or 7th.
I agree to an extent, but I think there are plenty of inexperienced managers that have gone on and done fantastically well at big clubs. Zinedine Zidane had never managed a top-level team before he got that Real Madrid team, and I know it's a very different situation.
Because the thing with Zidane is that he was inheriting one of the best squads in the world at the time, and it was a squad that had the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo in it, you know.
Although I'm not going to do. All right, I'm going to do it. Pep Guardiola never managed a top-tier team, any professional men's team, before he managed Barcelona's first team. I know he managed the B team for a while, but he stepped in and did well. The thing is, there are far more examples of someone failing in that position, and you're totally correct. There's far more examples of someone doing badly in that role than there is of someone doing well. And I think it's all on Frank Lampard now. He's taken a huge risk and stepped way out of his comfort zone to do this.
Chelsea have taken a huge risk by employing Frank as the manager.
I mean, I don't know. I guess so, but bearing in mind
yeah.
they were going to have this transfer ban.
If you were ever going to bring a manager who wanted to play youth,
yeah, maybe they were like they could see this coming, and they were like, there's no point bringing in someone who demands having players in or needs this type of player. Like someone who works with young players is probably a good shout right now.
Yeah, for sure.
But okay, well, I mean, we're coming right to the end of things here. Before we do, let's get, I guess, one word to sort of sum up the deadline day and one piece of business that sort of stands out for you, for better or for worse.
Just from today?
Deadline day. Yeah, just from today. Anyone want to start first, or should I go?
I'll go first if you want me to go first and give you guys a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
I think the business that stands out most to me would be Giovanni Lo Celso to Tottenham. I think the kind of midfielder he is, and it means that Christian Eriksen can leave now, and they'll be fine because he can play that position without any problem. And I think that really elevates their team. As far as one word to describe the day, I think we've seen a lot of the stuff that was going to happen has happened, but more of it's happened than I think we were expecting. I think we're expecting far more than what's actually happened. Oh, not again.
Charlie, you still
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, yeah, you just cut out there. You said more of that was going to happen than we initially thought, I guess.
Yeah, I think more. I think anticipated because more's happened than I think we were expecting was going to happen.